This is the other project I'm working on. I set up this solar system. This is a 12-volt solar system. I've got my panels coming in. I just got a temporary setup here on the panels coming in, and this is for a 12-volt freezer, which is going to be in the workshop. So there's no electricity. It's all just 12 volt. I've got my charge controller, got my batteries, got my bus bars. I've got my fuse. Everything is all set up, and I've still got some tools and stuff out here. But what I've got to do is check my 12-volt freezer today. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to run some power from this box here. This is a box that's been sitting here on the Homestead for a while that I picked up. That was given to us. And I'm just going to run it in the window and hook up the freezer and see if it works. If it does, then I'm going to run some conduit out the back of this and up into the workshop, and we'll run a 12-volt freezer, and then we can freeze ice here at home. So a lot of good things happening when you're not working and you're just working on the homestead. You get a lot done. All righty, folks, I'm gonna run the wires in there and just test the freezer and make sure it is working. We bought it. They said it worked. It's been sitting in here ever since. And I want to give a shout out to our subscribers. I had a subscriber quite a while ago sent this to me. It is a terminal in crimper. It's got all different kinds of sizes, and they also sent me a bunch of different crimps for the size I'm going to be using. It's going to be a number 6, and I think that's what I have in here. And they're numbered. Oh, here's number 6. So put that in there. But shout out to our subscribers. If you're a subscriber, thank you. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for all your nice and kind words and your support, particularly through last year. Last year was a rough year. Had some sickness, had some injuries, and this year we're back at it, and we're almost a quarter way through the year. So it's getting on up there, getting quick. Time flies. The older you get, seems like faster it goes. But if you're one of our subscribers and you've been here a long time, thank you. You don't know how much we appreciate y'all. So I'm going to go over here and get the wire. I'm going to set this thing up, and I'm going to test out this freezer. Hopefully it works. Alrighty. I got one made up already for the negative. This is a number 6. Cute little deal. This thing here, you just put the wires in there and you just pump it up, so you don't have to do anything manual. You gotta make sure this tightens down to tighten. This does loosen, backs right back off. And you can also tighten down how tight you want to go or how loose you want to go with this. But it's kind of slow, but you don't have to really hurt yourself to do it. It's hydraulics, so pretty good. I'm gonna make this one. This one's not crimped yet. And then we're gonna see if the freezer works. I'm praying it works. We need it to work. It's gonna be a big game changer for us. So I ran into a little deal here on this freezer. Went to go move it, and this wire's all bare. I'm not sure how that happened. Maybe moving it around, maybe it got caught on the edge. But it's got quite a few places in it I really didn't notice before. I'm going to split this down through here, and I'm going to tape this up because I don't want the hot and the ground getting shorted out. But yeah, I don't know how that happened. I know we don't have any mice in here. There's been no evidence of mice in this cabin. There's just not any holes for them to get in. So maybe it's that way all along, and I just didn't notice it. Very well could be. Okay, so here's my positive end. It's got the red on it. And I've taped it all the way down, but I've got some stuff down in my toolbox. I'm going to go down there and see if I can't find it. I think it's in my toolbox. It's a wire, kind of like a wire coating or wire sheath. I'm going to see what I can come up with to really guard this and make it to where it's not going to get hurt again. Don't know how it got hurt, but we need to protect it if we can. I may have to double insulate the positive with another thing of tape and then slip both of them inside that. I did cover the negative, which is not as important as long as the positive is really coated well, so there's no wear. But I'm gonna go down there and see if I can't find that. It's not really shrink wrap. It's more like a tubing, but I think it's big enough that I can slip both these in it. All right. So I've got my wires ran into the window, and I put a emergency shut off on it just in case. I could run out here and shut it off real quick if I needed to. 12 volt is nothing to play with. It'll start a fire faster than anything. I've got my hot ran from my switch down to my 50 amp fuse and then out. And what I'll do is I'll run a conduit if this thing works. So I'm headed in now. Gonna wire it up. We'll see if it works. Okay guys, moment of truth here. It's kicking on. I hear it running. Let's wire it up and see what happens. Needs a good cleaning, but I do hear it running. Light's not on. You hear that anomaly, I hear it circulating. I've got it turned on its coldest setting. Well, we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see how the batteries react. I've got the positive here, negative here. I want to make sure it actually gets cold before I go to running, because if this don't work, I'm not going to go spend the money on another 12 volt freezer. I'll just go buy another 110 freezer and figure it out. It's running. That doesn't mean it's going to get cold. I'm going to let it run. All right, it's been running a little while, and it hasn't really pulled on the batteries at all, which is kind of surprising. I'm going to let it go for about 4 hours, and we'll see if there's a temperature change and see what it's doing. It's not pulling the batteries. We're maintaining like 3 amps, 13.8 volts. One of the things that I do is I just gather stuff up. The switch right there, the cables, everything was just, I didn't buy any of it for this job. I just had it. And that's the thing, that if you're gonna homestead, just take and buy stuff. Do you need it right now? Probably not. Will you need it in the future? Most definitely. That switch right there, I bought. Didn't need it at the time. I've got extra 50 amp fuses that I bought that I didn't need at the time. That charge controller's been in this cabin for 2 years. These batteries for about a year. That's the way we do stuff. When we have the extra money, we buy stuff because we know what we have in mind, but we might use it anywhere. It's like that wire. Picked up this wire off of a guy. It was a good deal, so I bought it. So got the wires running there. Gonna just let it run for about 4 hours and see what happens. The old cabin workshop needs another coat of paint and some more caulk. I never did quite get around to this side of it with the paint. I ran out, but the sun is brutal out here. This is a 20-year paint, and It's already fading through. We'll come back in about 4 hours and see how the freezer's doing and see how the draw is on the batteries. Okay, folks, we don't have any power in here. Can you hear it, Ryan?
I see. I don't know.
Okay, here, you can hold the light.
Okay, tell.
Moment of truth here. It's not doing nothing. It's running, but it's not doing nothing.
Yeah, it's just warm.
Not doing nothing. So, it don't work. I don't know if it needs Freon or what, but it don't work. We've been holding on to this freezer for how long? 2 years now?
Has it been that long?
It's been that long, 2 years. And it don't work. So, I'm glad I didn't drill a hole in the floor. I just ran the wires there. So I'll just go shut it off and shut the power off to it and unhook it. And we will
make it feed.
Make it into a feed bin.
Yeah.
All right, well, that answers that.
Oh gosh.
Not working. It's been running for 5 hours now. It should be at least cold.
Yeah.
So, and I've got it cranked all the way up.
Yeah, it's on the highest setting.
So
and we've had this in here.
Taking up space for 2 years.
Oh, Lordy.
Yeah. All right, well, go shut it down.
Yeah.
All right, it's cycling through. We're going to see how many volts it used, how many amps it used. Oh, it ran the batteries from 13.8 to 12.6 in 5 hours. So that's pulling a lot on there. That's a lot. So that means it's really not functioning well. So we've got a switch right here. We just take and turn that off, and that cuts the power to it.
You can't just leave that thing in there?
Yeah, I can leave it in there. Oh, you can leave it in there, yeah. It's off now. That turns it on. That's off.
Okay.
Got that hooked to my bus bar, so. Okay, well, there you go, guys. Fail. Other way. Alrighty, folks. Coming to the end of another video right here. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you like what you see, tell your friends about us. And until next time, if you don't know which way to go in this whole world, commit your ways unto the Lord. Trust also in Him, and He'll bring it to pass. We'll see you later.